Welcome to UTV Gooner and our show, The Shooting Lone Star with Ram from the Austin Gooners. Hey, bro, how are you?
What's up, bro? Doing great, man. Top of the league. Yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it? It's a good feeling to have. I haven't experienced this as in my short time as a fan. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games coming up. It's a good start. It was the kind of start I was hoping we were gonna have, regardless, right? Because I know the next couple months, and I'm sure we'll go into it, but the next couple months are gonna be kind of challenging for us, not just us, but like the entire league. But um, getting 5 wins in 5 games is not a bad way to start the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, bro. 5 wins out of five, 15 points, top of
Yep.
the league. It's going so well for us. So since our last show, we've had a couple of matches, both hard-fought wins, 2-1 victories. Let's start with the Fulham game. So went behind in that one.
Hmm.
Mistake of our own, but we bounced back so well. Got the equaliser, then got the late winner. Gabriel, the player who made the mistake, made up for it by getting the winner. And it was overall a good performance. Made it tougher than it should have been, but you've got to give credit to Fulham as well. They did play well. Yeah, so your thoughts on the Fulham game?
Yeah, man. Geez, that game was something else. I thought in the first half we kind of dominated possession, right? We looked good. We should have scored a lot. Didn't, and I think that's one thing I'll be critical about this Arsenal club right now is we could stand to be a little bit more clinical, and I know that's just having high standards or whatever. But at least the good thing about it is that we were dominating, so we've come out every single game, and including that Fulham game, and took it to the opposing team, right? So we're owning the ball, we're owning possession, we're looking good. Um, the goal that they got from Mitrovic, who I was afraid of the whole time, man. Of course, he gets a goal like that against Gabriel. It was unfortunate. Um, I knew he was going to get his. I knew he was going to get a goal. But I was worried he was going to get it like in a set piece or a corner kick. But like I mentioned already, like we dominated possession, and anytime Fulham had the ball, like we just didn't let them do anything with it. So we kind of neutralized Mitrovic in that sense. But that was a lazy pass, I think, by Ben White. Um, and Gabriel didn't handle it very well. But as we all saw, nearly like barely like 8 minutes later, it was such an amazing response. The crowd sounded incredible on TV, and I'm sure it sounded way better in person. But like after we go down 1-0, a lot of these times, in the past at least, as far as I've been concerned, like we're like, oh God, here we go again, right? It doesn't feel that way with this team. Going back to maybe like, well, some at some points last year, obviously we kind of fell off at the end, but there's this sense, I think, growing with the fans, and I think growing with the team that doesn't matter if they go up 1-0. I mean, this is a game that I think we would have been lucky to draw. Like once we drew 1-1, we would have been lucky to keep it that way in the past. Um, Martin Odegaard had it was a beautiful goal. Kind of got a little lucky with the touch and the deflections here and there, whatever. But who cares? It went in, right? Um, and then Gabriel, I think the commentator was just like, the villain early on is now the hero, or he said something real dramatic like that. But it's just that this idea of you never say die, you don't quit, and it's another one of my favorite cliches in sports, right? You play to the final whistle, and this team is doing it, and it was really like, again, Fulham felt like a game that we would have drawn. Like we would have been lucky to gotten that Odegaard goal and then fought to kind of keep the draw. But instead, we keep the pressure on and get the second goal. We deserved it. It might have been a lucky bounce, whatever, who cares? But those lucky bounces in the penalty box don't happen unless you're assertive as an offensive team. And we did the damn thing, man. It was incredible to watch.
Yeah, it was. It's so good to see that when we do concede, we're able to bounce back. We don't drop our heads, go straight out and attack. We've done it against Leicester as well. Both times they scored,
Hmm.
bounced straight back quickly and got a goal. and then went on to win the game. So yeah, then Wednesday night against Aston Villa. This time I thought we played really, really well in that first half. We should have had 2 or 3 goals. We were all over them, creating chances after chance. Didn't unfortunately get the 2, 3 goals. Just got the 1 goal through Gabriel Jesus, which was a really good finish from him. Reacted really quick, but then they managed to get the equaliser. And then again, it wasn't like that long left to go in the game, but we just bounced back straight away. Went out on the attack, and within a few minutes, got the goal from Martinelli, and got the win.
Yeah, dude. That was another one. I think we either get lucky and draw or we end up losing the match in years past. Again, some people will, I've kind of seen some whispers and chatter on Twitter about like, we don't look good in these games. And I think quite opposite. Sure, it's great to win 3-0, 4-0 all the time. But this is where you really learn about a team is when they go through adversity. And it doesn't matter who the opponent is, right? Like, I mean, it could be Manchester City. I mean, we're not playing them yet, but winning a game like we did against Fulham, and then doing it again, against Villa, and that goal, you could kind of say like was a little lucky. I know Douglas Luiz is kind of making himself known for being able to hit that kind of shot, and it was a great shot from a corner kick. I don't think anybody touched it. What I will say is, I mean, that has to be. I don't know what the rule is with impeding the goalkeeper, but that has to be something, right? So it's really frustrating to see that as a fan. And I can only imagine how Ramsdale felt, how any of these defenders felt. But again, even with the delay and the VAR, and once the play started again, like Jesus Christ, man, Gabriel Martinelli, man, just takes the ball and we're right into attacking again. And another unfortunate deflection that went our direction, right? With Martinez kind of got a hand on the ball. We wasn't able to save it because it was just so much strength in the shot. But Martinelli, man, it was a beautiful pass from Bukayo Saka. Martinelli didn't even like hesitate; he just felt it, and he's you can see, man, like in the past couple games, Martinelli is on something else, man. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he ends the season. He's a hot take, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ends the season as our leading scorer because he's just hitting the ball with such confidence that I mean he should have probably had. There's been a couple games where he probably should have had at least a brace, maybe a hat trick. Like it's incredible. Like at least we're complaining that our team could be more clinical versus last year when we couldn't even get shots. So it's never going to be perfect, but I think straight away, anytime we see some adversity, this team just seems to turn it up a notch, and I think that bodes well in the long term. Again, it's also great to win 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, and we're going to get some of those games as well, but a lot of the games are going to be tight. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. It's early on. Villa is fighting to get back into the groove. Same thing with like Fulham. They're Premier League ready, right? So they're playing everybody tough. Um, on paper, these are games we probably should have dominated, but didn't for whatever reason. Again, it's Premier League. But I think overall as a squad, like I think we're doing great and we're building something. And barring injuries, and injuries is always the wild card. And yeah, we've suffered a few injuries early on, but I think I'm really confident in the level we're at squad wise in terms of like quality and depth that you know we're going to be okay if one position is short, I think. Whereas last year, I mean, having to have, we had like 11 to 13 guys who I could probably confidently say would be starters out of like 20, 21 players. And now we're having closer to like 18 or 19 guys where I can just say, all right, we can put them in here and we're going to be okay. May not be perfect, but hey, you know what? This is why they're on the team. At this point, at this stage of the process, if you will, everybody who's still here is part of the project, part of it, and they have a role to play. And everybody has stepped in and done their thing. So um, it's been a weird week as far as injuries are concerned, and then performances as well. Like they're not like satisfying, right? Like we're not dominating, but I think we also are dominating. I'll say we will. Like we're dominating these games. We could be more clinical is like my main takeaway from the past 2 games, but at least it's better than, gosh, I wish we can get some shots on target. Like, you know what I mean? So, new season, new different. It's never going to be perfect. Always going to be issues, but at least it looks like we're trending in the right direction overall.
Been a great August for us. Who's your player of the month?
Player of the month. Ooh, we. There's so many candidates, man, and that's again goes back to my theme of just being excited. I think trending overall as a group, we all look great. Um, I'm gonna go with Gabriel Martinelli, man. I just think he's playing with such confidence, and I guess the word you can use is abandonment. Like he's just leaving it all on the field. He's not afraid of anybody. I mean, and I think I noticed right from the first game uh, with Gabriel Jesus, the addition, I was just like Martinelli's going to be like the main benefactor of all whatever he's doing because he's just coming out ready to go, man. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Gabriel Martinelli. Although everybody has played well, even I'm also gonna give a shout out to like Bukayo Saka, like because I see a lot of like I guess whispers and chatter online saying like Bukayo Saka's struggling a little bit. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think like he's just we're so used to him being extraordinary that him just being good enough is kind of weird for us. I think he's doing great. Like I mean, he's got assists. He contributed a goal. I think they're just focusing on him, and it's just opening up for everybody else. So it's kind of it's gonna cycle around, right? Next month we might call Bukayo Saka the player of September, but this month Martinelli, man, like I said, he's just whenever he shoots, it feels like it's going to go in, and the only reason it's not going in is just because he doesn't have he just didn't strike it right. But we're going to see some more goals from him, and early prediction is I'm guessing he might end up being our top scorer, like by one. But that's my man for the month. How about
Yeah, it's been a great month. So many players have been playing so well, like some Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, as you said, Martinelli. For me, it's Saliba. I think he's been just so good. From when he's coming to the team, you can just see how comfortable he looks. He looks like a world-class defender already, and he's
yeah?
still so young. He's just going to get better. So for me, I'm giving it to him. But like I say, and like you're saying, there's a few players that he really stood out this month, and you could give it to any one of them. So
Mm.
yeah, well, let's talk now about the transfer window. So yesterday we were trying to get a midfielder in. It was for Aston Villa midfielder Diego Luiz. We were
Mm.
struggling with. We were saying that we made some bids for him, like 20 million, 23 million, 25 million. They all got rejected. Aston Villa didn't want to sell him. So we didn't get him. We didn't get anyone else in. But overall, we know it's been a good transfer window. We did get some really good business done early, got some key signings in. So I wanted to ask you, how would you rate our transfer window overall out of 10?
Uh, I would go like I would say 8 out of 10. Really happy. Whoa, that's my fault. Let me start over again. Hold on, let me just pause this here. Okay, cool. That was my work phone. But nah, I'm cool. Yeah, so I'll start from the top. So yeah, transfer window. I would rate our transfer window this summer at 8 out of 10. I was really happy with everybody that we brought in. We addressed like our number one priority, right? We needed a number nine who scored some freaking goals, and we got him, right? And not only is he just scoring goals, but he's opening it up for everybody else. So he's like the complete player. So I think just that alone had made me happy. I was like, when we signed Gabriel Jesus, in my head, I was like, I know we're going to sign more people, but I would be happy if just him and him alone. You know what I mean? Like that alone makes it a successful window. Um, but I think we brought in a backup goalkeeper, which I think is going to be good in the long run. Marquinhos is impressing early, and I think we might see more of him than we maybe anticipated early on. Fabio Vieira, I think, is going to finally start getting into the squad a little bit. Zinchenko has provided us some security. I know he's been hurt past couple games, but doesn't seem to be serious. But he allowed Kieran Tierney to kind of ease back in to the point where now that Zinchenko has missed a couple games, Kieran Tierney, although he hasn't looked like spectacular, he's looked good. And I think we have achieved our main goal also of just kind of getting rid of a bunch of players that are kind of wasting wages and just kind of wasting space on the roster. And as I said earlier, like everybody we have now is 100% all in on the process and the project, right? So, so we can easily say now Arteta has every single one that he wants to be here, right? So everybody, this is his team. So like, let's fucking go. You know what I mean? So I would say 8 out of 10. Fair enough. Like it sucked. I was kind of hoping for one more player, right? Maybe two. And you know, I'm a little bit worried about this midfielder, the injuries, but like all indications are outside of like El Neni, none of them seem to be like terribly serious. I know Thomas Party is going to be a little bit like we'll see, right? Like a lot of his stuff going on, and yeah, he's always getting injured and things like that. But I think overall, like I'm really excited to just kind of give Sambi Lokonga a chance. Um, you know, a lot of chatter also as well online saying, "Oh, he's not ready. He's not ready." Well, I mean, what's the point of having him if we're always going to just say he's not ready? Like, it's go time. And I thought he played really, really well, all things considered, against Villa. Again, it's Villa. You know, he's going to face some stiffer competition, right? But I think he can do it. And I think, like the expression goes, like a rising tide lifts all ships. I think we've risen the level of the overall level of the squad that we don't necessarily need to just lose our minds over like maybe one position being a little bit weaker. And I think we're going to be okay, at least until January. And it looks like, you know, I think maybe January this time around, we'll probably get some serious, maybe we'll actually get some business done because now we don't have to waste time trying to get people out. Like we spent the last two windows getting everybody out, getting our business done early. I think now January might end up being like one of maybe our most active January windows in a while. So I'll say 8 out of 10. It's not perfect. It could have been better, but you know, everything was last minute with this midfielder thing. So I know it was kind of like also like, you know, we knew early on, like, yes, we need a midfielder. I don't think it just was that high of a priority until like all the injuries started piling up. But I think, as I've been saying already, like I think we're gonna be okay. I'm feeling very good about it.
Okay, and what are your thoughts about the news that Aubameyang has joined Chelsea?
Ah, fucking wanker, man. I'm so upset. I loved him. He's my favorite player, like my first favorite football player as I started getting into it a little bit more. You know, as after I picked Arsenal, it was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang who was the guy. Fell in love with him. I'm wearing the shirt. I just thought about it right now. I'm wearing the shirt that has his name on the back. Like I got his name on the back right as he signed his deal. So excited about him. You know what he was hopefully going to do, and it just didn't work out. Um, I'm not going to root for him, obviously, anymore. Um, I like the guy. I wish it turned out to be better. I hope that he at least gets what did I say? Like a hero's welcome when he comes back and plays at the Emirates. You know, a brief round of applause, but then after that, like it's time to boo him. Like you know better, bro. Like don't go to Chelsea, don't go to United. Like come on, bro. Don't go to Tottenham. I was happy. That's why I was happy. Like when it didn't work out, like at least he went to Barcelona. Like I could root for a different team and watch him. But now he's gonna come back here. Like I'm not gonna root for him. Like whatever, man. But he's got to do what's best for him, I guess. But it sucks that it has to be at Chelsea. So I'm kind of rooting for him to get that number 9 curse that seems to be cursing Chelsea strikers. So you know, let that happen, right?
Yeah, it's difficult because he was a big favorite of ours. We know how he left was like, a bad situation, but still a player that brought us so many good memories. And now to see that he's going to be playing for one of our main rivals, what can we do? It is what it is. It's not going to be nice to see him in their shirt. Let's hope that he has really poor games when he plays against us.
100%.
We don't want to see him scoring any goals against us.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, so next one, Man United away. You would say it's the first big test for us this season, the first real difficult game on paper. Saying that, just a few games ago, we're looking at them and they were really struggling. They lost their first couple of games against Brighton and 4-0 to Brentford. And we're like, right, it's not going to be an easy game, but it might be a bit easier than it would usually be going to Old Trafford. We know it's always a difficult game going up there, but they seem to be
Mhm.
finding their form now. They won their last 3 games. All three were close games, but they did well. Beat Liverpool 2-1, beat Southampton and Leicester 1-0. So they're finding their form, but we're in great form. We're going to go there really confident. What's your thoughts on that one?
So this is kind of what I felt about the last time we went to Old Trafford last year, and we ended up losing 3-2. But we played well enough to like be ahead, like or at least like we played well enough that we could have won that match. And then we kind of messed up, like we kind of lost our grip on the game as it went along. And Cristiano Ronaldo had 2 goals in that game, and but it wasn't like the Manchester United of old. You know what I mean? Sure, it's at Old Trafford. The names on the badges are, Manchester United and Arsenal, and there's a lot of history that goes behind it. But I kind of want this team to play the team in front of them versus playing the occasion. Like, yes, it's at Old Trafford. The crowd's going to be there. It's a old, like it's a historic stadium, historic team, lots of history between the two. But these players are at that. I want them to. I hope they approach it like man, we're too young for all that. Like we don't know any. Like that's not us. Like we it's our opportunity to make our own history. Like and right now, I think our team, even though United has turned it around and won 3 in a row, they haven't been like the best looking 3 game win, the best looking wins. Whereas ours have been good. Like we've we've come out and stomped teams and also come back to win a couple games. So I think we have the edge and we have the confidence. I want us to play like it we're not going to Old Trafford to play Manchester United. Oh wow, let's not be taken away at that. It's like we're going away to play a team that we are better than. And I kind of want to see that team play like that. Like take that approach and say like, look, man for man, they're not better than us. Like Sambi Lokonga, like Scott McTominay and Fred or whoever they want to put in the midfield is not going to overpower him or Xhaka. You know what I mean? Like Lissandro Martinez is not going to hold his own against Gabriel Jesus. Martinelli is going to look at Diego Dalot or Dallo and just smoke him, right? William Saliba is not going to let Cristiano Ronaldo or Marcus Rashford do anything to him. Like, I think it's just, we got to have, I'm just hoping like our team has that mindset. Like we're fucking Arsenal and they haven't beat us yet, like this year. Like this is a new season. Like we can go in there and just smash them. I want to see us smash them. I don't know if we will, but yeah, I don't. Again, I want our team to play the team, not the occasion. Because yes, sure it's Old Trafford, sure it's Manchester United, but this isn't like top of the league. This is a team that's like kind of struggling to find their identity. So we got to pounce on them, regardless of the pageantry of it all. Like, got to get over that. Just play the game. So that's what I'm thinking, and I'm hoping they're thinking it too. And I'm thinking 3-1. I think we're gonna smash them. It'll be close. It's gonna be another one. I've been calling a lot of close games, but solid wins, and I think this is the finally the one we're gonna get them 3-1, 1-1 at the half, and then we just kind of dominate that second half.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
We're playing well, so as you said, we've got to go there confident, and for sure we can definitely get the 3 points. I wanted to ask you about the lineup now. So we don't know what the exact situation is with injuries with Partey. Don't know how long he's going to be out. It's not looking likely that he's going to be ready for this game. Zinchenko,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like he will be available. So in the centre midfield, would you keep Sambi Lokonga, who played very well against Aston Villa? Got to give him credit. He came into the team and looked really lively. He was always trying to pass forward. Or would you want to bring Zinchenko in there? What would you look to do?
I'd like to see Sambi Lokonga in there again. Give him another shot again. Like I think, sure, it's Manchester United, but I don't think that midfield is scary enough or good enough to kind of give him and Xhaka and whatever they're gonna work, like whatever they're gonna cook up. I think they're good. Like, sure, Casemiro's there, but I don't know if he's fully fit. I don't know if he's gonna start. He may well start. I mean, he's a pretty solid player, and if he starts, all right, it might be a little nerve wracking. But I think again, we brought Sambi Lokonga to bring him along, and I think now is an opportunity for him to kind of like step up and give us some cover. I'll use like an old baseball analogy, but like, or a baseball analogy, but like you have for baseball, you have your starting pitchers, like the guy on the mound that throws the ball, and then you have your relief guys, like the guys who come in later in the game, and then you have your closer. And what you want from your starting guys is to save the relievers and the closers by having the starters play more of the game and kind of last long enough to keep these guys fresh. So I kind of want Lakonga to be like that. Like, hey, he has to come in and play a role, and I want him to give the team confidence enough so that we don't have to rush Zinchenko back or Thomas Partey. Like we can just say, all right, like we're good with Lokonga for a while. Kind of like last year when we had Tavares, and he kind of almost started having us thinking, is Tierney even going to get back on the team? Like I kind of want to see Lokonga be that kind of guy this year, and just be like, wow, do we even need to bring back Thomas Partey? I know that's like kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but I kind of want to like see the competition start. Like there's a reason why we didn't buy a bunch of midfielders, this window, and it wasn't a top priority, even though we know Thomas's injury history. Since I think there's some kind of confidence there with Sambi Lokonga, and I think we just need to see him play. So I think he goes in. I think Zinchenko comes in as like a like a what do you call it? Like a sub, super sub maybe if he's feeling good. Um, I'm thinking I'm kind of worried about Odegaard. I don't know if he's going to start. If not, I think now is a good time to see Fabio Vieira and see what he can do. I think Emil Smith Rowe is probably got to be fit enough. I mean, he's been on the bench plenty and he's gotten in a couple games as a sub. I think it's going to be time for him to shine as well. So I would like to see, Gabriel Jesus up top. And if we don't see Odegaard, maybe we can see someone like Smith Rowe there. I don't know if he plays like the same position, but I'm sure we can work something out. But I don't think there's no reason to take Martinelli out. There's no reason to take out Saka. I think Xhaka and Sambi Lokonga as our midfielders, and then I think the same starting back four. I think we've been doing great, with Tierney in the back. I think that's what we'll go with. Aaron Ramsdale at goal.
Okay. Yeah, this is the thing. We do have some good options. We've got some players that are very versatile as well, with like Zinchenko. So, Nketiah as well. He's coming on off the bench looking really lively as well. So, Arteta's got some options. As I said, we don't know what the situation is with a few of our players, Odegaard,
Yeah,
but let's see. Confident, whoever we put in the field is going to go there and put in a good performance
right
and
on.
get the win. So let's talk a little bit about some of the other big fixtures coming up this weekend. Some predictions from you on them. There's a
Mhm.
couple of big derbies coming up. So Everton are playing against Liverpool.
Oh, that one's going to be no trouble for Liverpool. I think they win easily, like 3-0.
Okay, and Chelsea are playing West Ham.
West Ham and Chelsea. I know West Ham is not doing too hot in the table, right? They're 14th. But Chelsea's also 7th or 10th. Oh, it's a real nice mid-table matchup there, huh? Bunch of losers. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. West Ham, I don't know, man. Like I still kind of feel like they're one of those teams. They're suffering a little bit of a hangover from last year, and so I think they're gonna eventually turn it around a little bit. They're still solid. So I think they'll give Chelsea a run for their money. I don't know if Chelsea is going to be able to just like integrate everybody they brought in and look good. So I think it'll be like a 2-2 draw. Nah, you know what? That's too many goals. I think it'll be like 1-1. 1-1 draw for everybody shares the points on that one. They stay bottom half of the table.
Okay, Aston Villa against Manchester City.
Yeah, even though we had a tough time against Villa and we eventually went up on them 2-1, I think we could have dominated them like kind of dominated say like Bournemouth. Again, I think that just goes to us not being as clinical as we are, and hopefully that gets better. But yeah, I think we smashed Aston Villa. I think Manchester City sadly is going to do the same. Erling Haaland, man, is ridiculous. I think I would put money that he's going to get another hat trick. And it sounds crazy to have 3 hat tricks in a row, but like the guy's something else. And I don't think Villa did not look too hot, despite the fact that we didn't score a ton of goals. Yeah, we dominated essentially. So I don't think Villa's in trouble, man. which is crazy to say, but I think they're in trouble.
Okay, and Tottenham are playing against Fulham.
I think Tottenham runs out of luck, man. Fulham, God, they deserve. They might be like my other little secondary team that I like to watch. I'm not gonna root for them. Like fuck that team, but I like watching Fulham, man. They're a really good team to watch. And I just think, yeah, Tottenham has just been getting lucky, man. I don't think they get lucky against a team like Fulham. Fulham is gonna deliver the first loss. I thought Nottingham Forest was gonna do it. Nottingham Forest played better than Tottenham and ended up just blowing it for like 2 goals. That I was just like, come on, like how are you letting this happen? I don't think Fulham is gonna have the same shitty discipline that Nottingham had. So I want to say like that one. We'll say like 2-1 because Tottenham doesn't score a ton of goals. They just get lucky, and I think Fulham's going to play them a little harder. 2-1, Fulham.
That would be great. So, just one last thing I wanted to ask you before we go is the Europa League draw was made last week. What are your thoughts on?
Oh boy, I'll be honest, I haven't looked at it a lot. I am looking forward to maybe talking about it, next time we chat to kind of go over because by then we'll have played our first game or maybe about to play. But um, it looks like, I think I know one of the teams, I don't know exactly the name of them, but I know one of the teams is won their league last year. And then they just barely failed to qualify for the Champions League. So that's why they're in our group or whatever. But I don't know. There's PSV Eindhoven, and that's a team I know about. Zurich is the other team. That's what it was. And the other one, Bode Glimt. I don't even know how to say these names. Man, we should smash them. Like, I think that's going to be a great opportunity for us to see the likes of Marquinhos, Fabio Vieira. Again, if we don't see him in Manchester United, kind of hoping that we see him in the Europa games. Yeah, see Tomiyasu get in there at a start. Maybe see Saliba take a little bit of a break, and see Gabriel and Ben White do their thing, or Ben White and Saliba. Just my thing is I just want to see some solid rotation. I'm excited to see Matt Turner, see what he can do. From what I understand, with the MLS time, a good shot stopper. And he's real gritty. His story's great. I just don't know if he's ready for like the Premier League games yet, but I'd be happy to see him play these games. Yeah, and I just want to see rotation because for the next 2 months it's like one game every 3 or 4 days. So it's going to be a crazy, crazy run, but I think we're ready for it. But we'll know a little bit more once we see that first lineup and first Europa match. Just kind of see what kind of rotation we can actually do. So yeah, man, ready for it.
Yeah, hopefully, we can top the group quickly, get qualified for it. So then that allows Arteta to rotate even more, give more
Yeah.
younger players a chance. I'm sure, as you said, he's going to rotate from the start, but the quicker we can qualify and top the group, then the last couple of games can take it a lot more easier and play a lot more of the younger players.
How could I forget Eddie Nketiah, bro? Like he's gonna get starts too, so we'll see him. And he's been doing great, by the way. And I'll say that. Sorry to cut you off, but like he's been coming in and just been an absolute like firecracker. You could argue and say like the game changes when he comes in. He hasn't scored yet, but I think it's coming. And yes, as you say, like rotation, he's gonna get some more game time, man.
Yeah, it's good. He's been looking very lively every time he's come off the bench. So looking forward to seeing him getting his chance in that competition. And as you said, so much action to look forward to. It's going to be like a game every 3, 4 days. And let's now move on to the next one in the Premier League. Make it 6 out of 6 by beating Man United at Old Trafford. Hopefully, when I see you next week, we're talking about a great victory for us.
Yep.
So that's all from us. Thanks for your time, bro.
Thank you, man. We'll talk to you next week.
For sure, bro. So that's all from us, everyone. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.